Hello friends, I am Manoj Mittal. Here we are going to learn how to build the intelligent Microsoft Azure bot using the Luis and QnAMaker. In the previous article, we have learned how to build the Microsoft Azure bot using the QnAMaker and about the Luis language understanding intelligence system. You can go through the previous article to get more details. So let's start it here. So I'll just take the high-level overview. This is my QnAMaker. I logged in https / QnAMaker.ai. Move to the My Services. So here my services, I edit that one and just open my knowledge base, which I took the data from the FAQ section of the Azure bot services. What is a bot framework and those? And these are the two questions what I added last time to make the rich card. So that is integrated with my Microsoft Azure bot application. So I'm going to open this application and we quickly test what is the result, how it's work. I clicked on test in web chat. So here I type what is bot framework. So I'm getting the rich card, that is the hero card is coming here. That is the one section what we covered in previous uh, videos. So other one is Luis. I just logged into the Luis.ai. So here we have created the one model. So that is the demo Luis C# corner. It's having the entities and the intent and utterances. So we'll just go through here. We in the last video we have created the couple of intent. So intent we have like leave.query. So if you see here, so for the further details, let me open this sections. So this is the different people is asking is a different way of asking how many leaves pending for me, like how many leaves I have this year. List me all pending casual leaves. Show the sick leave for 2018. Like this, there are a different way. The user intention is to get the leave details or leave history for the previous year or current year, what the date they are passing. So here we are taking like intent is a leave.query. If I navigate to the Luis sections, so here we have created the intent Luis.query, and entity we have, it's just leave type. It's a list type and having the values what we added here last time. And if you going to the intent, clicked on the leave.query or leave.query, here we'll get the utterances is nothing like a sentences what we have. Okay, so now if I take any question from here and type into the my Azure bot framework, list me all pending leave. So let's see what it shows. Because now this question doesn't exist in my QnAMaker, but I need the data. It here the QnAMaker will not help because we need the real-time data. So this query should go to my LOB systems or where my leave management system take the data and showcase show the real data. So how we can achieve using the Luis? It's feasible. So we are going to integrate the Luis with QnAMaker and get the results here. So before proceeding, I created SharePoint online as a data source. Here is just I just navigate to my KV site. Knowledge base is a subsite. Here I created one list in that pending leaves and having I randomly added some columns here. I have casual leaves, sick leaves, paternity leave. This is pending. System recognize me as a you. So what's my objective here when I type the questions? So my questions and Luis should read the data from this particular list and show me that data. Okay, so let's get started how to integrate those sections. So I just downloaded that code from the Azure bot framework. This is a code for the QnAMaker what we use using the rich card only. So here what we are going to add, I'm going to add one more classes, one more class, add new item. I'll just give the name of the class, basic load tilers, anything we can give, basic Luis dialog. Okay, so here first of all, I'll change the namespace, what I'm using here. Okay, so going here for the namespace. So the class name here, we need to add the Louis dialog. Louis dialog. Okay, so we need to add the reference. It's going to add. We are going to add the object. Done. Okay, here we need to add the model. What model we are going to use? So we have square bracket Louis model parenthesis. We need to provide the ID. Need to provide the key. So for that also need to add the reference here. That is Microsoft about.builder.louis. Here we can add the ID and the key to make the class as a serializer. Okay, so we'll quickly take the Louis ID and key from the Louis section. So I'll navigate to the Louis. So this is my Louis. I'm going to publish section. I'll quickly publish it. Okay, it will not take a couple of more seconds. I go down, it's creating. So let me publish to the production. It's complete. Let me refresh it. So it will keep the key and ID. So those sections will take and put into the our model key. Let it load. Yep, we got the sections. I'll just copy and put into the notepad file here. So what I have. So you'll see this is the ID for us. I'm just going to take. I'll provide the ID here. I'll take the key. This is the subscription key. What we have. Okay. So I just give the reference of the Louis model. So here we are going to add the intent. So by default, there is a none intent exists. So let me go and add intent. So first we'll add if nothing is found, that we can add null or empty. We can add the none also here. Okay. So here we'll add the function for that. So I have a code snippet. I'll take it from there only instead of typing there. So here we have an intent. It's like we have a none. So we'll add the references for that. Dot connector for the Louis result. Okay. So this task is also of type thread. Correct. Great. So here we have created the task type none. We'll add the one more intent what we are going to use or define into the Louis, that is leave.query. Louis intent leave.query. So I also have this method. I'll go there and take this method leave.query. So that intent should be same. I'll cross check the spelling of this. Q is small. Okay. Query. So here what I'm doing, when I type the questions and this questions give me the intent and intents belong to this sections, I am just firing this query, this functions. What this function does, it just take the current context and just type the message. We are fetching the details and posting onto the screen. After that, I'm going to my database and get the data for the current users and again posting. So for that, fetch user leaves. Here we need to define this functions. It just let me put that code. I'll explain that section also. So what it does. So that also code snippet I have. Okay. So I'm going to the fetch user detail section. So this is the bare minimal code. I'm not using proper logging and exceptions. So it's just for demo purpose. I prepared the code snippet. So go ahead, just use that one only. So I'm going to use my site is KB. It's a site URL. So I stored for the time being for demo purpose my credentials into the web.config and reading from there what is my login ID and my passwords. So it's not necessary to read from web.config. We can use other methods also. Just a list name, but we have a pending leaves. We'll check the list name also. It's a pending leaves. Okay. So here we are just using those functions to make the password secure. Okay, so as we are going to use the SharePoint Online credentials, SharePoint Online client object model, we need to add the reference. So I'm right click, manage NuGet package. So I'll use browse SharePoint Online. Yep. So here we can take SharePoint Online CSOM, this package, and install it. It will take a couple of seconds. So let's see what it's asking the license. I accept the license. So it's going to install this license into my this package into my solutions. It's finished. If we can go to the solutions and we can navigate to reference and see whether that share Microsoft SharePoint.client, yeah, it's exist here. So we can use that reference here. Okay. So here we can add the reference using Microsoft dot SharePoint dot client. Okay, so we'll not use, as we are going to use the list as exist here of the client object model and exist in the .NET code also. So we'll create the alias here, and we are going to use that one as SP is alias for us. Okay, so now what my code is just taking this alias. So this is now the straightforward. After taking the passwords, what I'm doing, I'm just providing my credentials to the SharePoint Online credentials and create the client context. And from this client context, I'm going to the, but I'm reading the list, creating the list object. From the list object, I'm creating the Camel Query. So Camel Query is nothing. I'm just parsing the user details, who is going to log in, and what the data need to fetch from there. I'll get all the details, what type of leave exists in my system, and just prepare the results for that. I have a casual leave, number of leaves, sick leaves, paternity leave, and return the results to the parent functions. And parent functions will got into the string and just post to the my bot framework window. So this is the sections what we use for the leave.query. Now we are ready with the Louis to get the data from the Louis. Now the question comes how we can integrate the QnAMaker and Louis both. Okay, 1 minute, let me check the recording is happening. Okay, fine. So to integrate it, what we can do, it's quite simple here. So we have a controller. So the controller is going to call the QnAMaker as of now. So what we will do, we'll call the Louis, and from the Louis, if the intent is coming as a none, so here, then we'll forward this activity to the QnAMaker. So that is the main. So we'll just, it's a straightforward here. Here we are calling the root dialog, that is a QnAMaker. Instead of that, we'll call the basic Louis dialog. Okay, so now my controller is calling the Louis dialog. Now we'll navigate to basic Louis dialog. Here from the none intent, we need to forward to the QnAMaker. So I have a code snippet for that also. We'll quickly take this one. Okay, just copy paste. So we have here, 1 minute, let me add the reference for that. Okay, so what we did, we used the context.forward root dialog. This is nothing my Q&A base class what I used here, and after that we are just calling the function after Q&A, so which will just send the detail to the this particular QnAMaker dialog. Now we have done with both the classes. So that is a basic Louis dialog and basic QnAMaker dialog. So how it's going to do, our controller is going to call the Louis, and Louis, if we find the intent is a none, then I'm going to call the QnAMaker, else the result will come from the Louis. So let's deploy and test the solutions. I just right click my solutions, click on publish. So I'll take the profile we have, create new profile, import, publish. I'm going to take from download section, open. So it started deploy on this my endpoints. It will not take a couple of more seconds, it will quickly come up. So let's wait till deployment finish. So okay, it's going to finish here, it's deployed. So I'm going to close this ones and moving to my solution. So that is fine. So let's quickly navigate to Azure bot application. So let me refresh or click it on my bot. Okay, test in web chat. So it's loading my web client. So it just type what the last time I added. What is bot framework? So that should come from the Louis as a rich card. Oh, not from Louis, from QnAMaker. Yep. So it's coming from the QnAMaker as a rich card. Now if I type list me all pending leaves, pending leaves. So now it should come from the Louis because I'm asking for the real-time data. It doesn't exist in QnAMaker. So as you can see, the content is showing hello you. So this system is recognizing as a you. So we are fetching your pending leaves and showing the casual leave is 4, sick leave is 5, paternity leave is 5. If I navigate to SharePoint list here, so you can find those data pretty much exist. It's the same. So this is a way how we can integrate both QnAMaker and Louis and get that data. If we are talking with a real time or the natural sentences, what the layman is saying, that we can store in the Louis, create the intent on base of that intent, we can fire the queries and take the data. So it's not it's like now the question come how many intent we need to create like that. So it's a keep growing and keep learning activity. We need to keep understand the system, how the user is using my bot, and we need to take a look their response. Somewhere we are going to store their conversations and then again look into the all the conversation where my bot is failing, take out those sections, again give to the bot, train the system, publish the model, and start using again. So this is the ongoing activity. Thanks for watching this tutorial.